Stephen Coulson from the European Space Agency, the Directorate of Earth Observation Programs, and I'd like to just spend a few minutes talking about some work we've been doing over the past few years in the area of sustainable development or green growth. This is an issue that is giving much more public interest these days, and the basic idea is that the economic development is done in a way in the developing world, the countries, in a way that is not damaging the environment or is environmentally sustainable. So we've been doing this work and trying to establish information from satellites as best practice environmental information within the working processes and the working practices of the main institutional financing institutes. These are the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the European Investment Bank, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development. All of these institutes are making economic investments in the developing world to stimulate growth in the economies, and we've been working with these banks to try and understand their projects, their particular requirements for environmental information within those projects, and then we've been running some small demonstration activities to show that Earth observation and satellite-based information can provide that information. To date, over the last 5 years, we've run about 70 projects. They're small scale, they're scattered all over the world, both in Latin America, Caribbean, Africa, the Mediterranean coast, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia and Pacific. We've had very good feedback from the bank teams and actually the local users in the developing countries. And we've investigated a whole range of information services from satellites, so both on land, marine, atmospheric domains. I can't go into all of the specific services now, but just to give one example, we worked with the coastguard agencies on the Mozambique Channel. And we actually took a capability that's been developed in Europe and is used on an operational basis, which is routine oil spill monitoring. And we worked with a French company, CLS, a service provider, and a local receiving station on Reunion Island, and provided an operational oil spill monitoring service in the Mozambique Channel for 5 months. During those 5 months, there were 38 separate pollution incidents tracked and identified, and we worked very closely with the Coast Guard agencies to make sure that the environmental impact there was limited and that the oil tank operators, the oil tanker operators, were actually aware that even in that remote part of the world that they could be tracked and monitored if they were damaging the environment. So that's just one example, and we've concluded 70 more of those projects. As I say, we've raised quite a lot of interest within the banks and the developing countries, and now we're in a position to start much larger scale activities in the areas of urban development, water resources management, and agriculture and rural development. We're starting those activities early in 2016 for a period of 3 years, and I should say we're in discussions with the banks and both the ESA member states to see if we can grow this activity for a wider range of issues in international development. So I'm quite excited about the whole affair. I think we have good prospects here of trying to get Earth observation-based information integrated into a totally new community, a user community, and that won't happen overnight. That's why we need further work here to be done, but the whole prospect is quite exciting and we're looking forward to it. My take home from this summit, and I've just listened to a session on Copernicus and Copernicus data coming through to the users, is that we are moving from Earth observation being a research and development technology with the Copernicus system to Earth observation as a basis for operational information services about the environment. So I think in a few years this is all going to change quite remarkably with the Copernicus system and the availability of information, and we'll see much greater take-up of this technology within operational institutes, government and also private sector companies. So the whole affair is beginning to take off and move, and it's a very exciting time. Everyone is here, and we can certainly exchange views and get the latest status on what everybody's doing.